Another strategy that we can use is to repeat sentence structure to emphasize connections. Now, if we're repeating a sentence structure, we might get some of those patterns that are annoying to the reader. So we want to do this sparingly. But if we do it every now and then, it really draws attention to the writing and maybe draws attention to a point that you're making. So we look at a sentence like this. If my brother comes in at 2 in the morning, he gets a talking to. Okay, so we see a premise. We see brother comes in at 2, gets a talking to. We might repeat that sentence structure to show the same situation. If my sister comes in at 2 in the morning, she gets grounded and has to immediately turn over the car keys. So I'm using this repeated sentence structure in order to make a point. We're comparing two things, and those two things, the results are different. So I want to start by showing that the situation is the same, and I'm going to repeat that sentence structure. We can also, if we're looking at transitioning between sentences, we can use pronouns. We think of what a pronoun is, it's a reference to a previous noun. And so that makes us kind of think back to what's already been said. So you can see how this creates some type of link. So legislators have been challenging the Brady Bill since its inception. They have, however, had little luck in dissembling its logic. So we look at the term they, which points back to legislators. Because it points back, we can see that it is a clear link between these two sentences. We do have to be clear in our pronouns, though. One of the main problems that I see is the pronoun this. We need to often define what this is referring to. So we look at this paragraph. Roscoe Coltrane adds, over 278 deaths have occurred from children playing with guns, and there have been over 1,000 reported injuries in the last decade. Okay, so we have a couple pieces of information, and we say this could be avoided with the addition of a gun safe in the home. When we're looking at this, is it referring to the deaths, the injuries, or both? We're not sure, so we need to clarify. Okay, so make sure if you're using pronouns, so we're clarifying what we're doing. The concept of linking paragraphs is kind of like a relay race. You think about the runners with the baton. You have one runner who has one hand on the baton, the other runner has their hand on the baton, and they pass it and then they move on. That's much like what we're doing in these paragraphs. We're taking a part of the last sentence and we're bringing it into the first sentence of that next paragraph. And that's kind of like that relay. We have both hands on it at the same time before we let go and move on to a new idea. Let's try a couple of these. Let's start with two sentences that maybe look like they're unrelated in some way. We have Burger King often has weekly deals on either existing or new items. McDonald's offers value meals, which usually include a burger, fries, and drink. So we want to show some type of relationship here between these. So we can use maybe that transitional phrase. Burger King often has weekly deals on either existing or new items. However, so we're showing that contrast. McDonald's offers value meals. So we're seeing that one has weekly deals, one just has a regular stationary value meal. Okay, so just that word, however, shows this link because if we have however, we have to think back to what is being contrasted and what's the new idea. Let's look at another one. Trucks are more popular in rural areas than urban areas. And then we have the sentence, cars are often preferred in areas where the weather is warm. So we do have areas, which is a keyword that helps, but we can further link these two together. If we say trucks are more popular in rural areas than urban areas, in cities, so now we're getting rural areas, that's cities, so we have that synonym. Where the weather is warm, cars are also more popular than trucks. Okay, so we can use that synonym to kind of link these together. So as you go through your essay, you want to make sure that you are properly linking your sentences and your paragraphs. Sentences, usually we do without even thinking about it, but definitely go through each paragraph and make sure that you are linking them together in some way.